What's up, what's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, and welcome into an emergency video. Well, really, it's an emergency live video. We are here breaking down a trade in the NBA. Clippers, Grizzlies, making a deal. Eric Bledsoe is the main piece. I am joined with my beautiful co-host for this video, Dave Oster.
Hey, everybody.
Dave, it's not like I didn't just talk to you for an hour about Titans that will be coming up on our entertainment channel within the night. But right after we finished, it's like, oh, breaking news. We had Eric Bledsoe was traded during our video. So we're like, fuck it. We're going to go live. If you're new, hit that sub button so that you're always keeping track on everything we're doing here at MVP Sports. But Dave, the deal is this, is the Clippers are sending Patrick Beverley, Rajon Rondo, Daniel Oturu, or as I call him, Cthulhu, over to the Grizzlies for Eric Bledsoe. Also, as you've been doing your little bit of Reddit research on it, about 8 million trade exception does now get created for the Clippers, which is huge for them. First thing I'm going to ask you, we're going to hit everything with the Grizzlies and the Clippers in this. When it comes to the Clippers, we'll start with them. Eric Bledsoe, is he a piece that this team uses to try to get to a finals with Kawhi, or is it just another ends to a means to pair him and a trade exception to bring in a third star to pair next to Kawhi and PG?
I mean, both are possible. I'll give you that. I don't think it's unrealistic to say that the Clippers aren't done making moves. They had a bunch of guys under roster. They went ahead and signed all of their picks pretty much already. So, like, you knew this was a very loaded up roster. So we're like, all right, where are these guys going to end up playing? Because obviously we don't have enough slots. I wonder, like, off the top of my head, I want to say, no, Bledsoe's going to stick on the team for a little bit. But that $8.3 million trade exception that you brought up, likely going to play a factor before the trade deadline. I hope this isn't a situation where they sit out all year like the Celtics did and kind of got everybody's hopes up. I think this, in theory, if Bledsoe has a bounce back year, could be great for them. You know, they add in a dynamic defender who doesn't need to create a lot offensively because you have Reggie, you have Kawhi, you have Paul George. You've got your three guys. Shit, you still got, you know, like, you still have a core together of, like, playoff guys. I don't think that he necessarily needs to be that same guy that he had been in his past, where you count on him for buckets. Obviously, his shooting has basically fallen off a cliff, especially in the playoffs, where he's just a shadow of himself. But at the same time, you know, Rondo was unplayable for a portion of the playoffs. Pat Beverley, same thing. Like, I think this is a win-win situation for them, and by them I mean the Clippers. Like, mostly because you clear a bunch of money off your cap, and you open up that trade exception. You get Bledsoe, who could be a piece you could move again if you need to, but you also get a guy who can defend at a really high level. You know.
Yeah.
So I still think that's a pretty good deal. You know.
The thing that I'm thinking is, I think that Bledsoe is a piece that they will keep. Like you brought up, does not need the ball in his hands offensively, can be a defensive guy for them, because I think the most important thing for the Clippers is that trade exception. And I don't know, like, I don't think that Bledsoe's the guy you move. I wouldn't be surprised if by the trade deadline, if a star becomes available, that if the Clippers, like, I'm looking at big contracts here. Marukes Morris, 15.6. You've got Reggie, I don't think they trade. They just moved on from Patrick Beverley. Fanspo hasn't updated, obviously. He was 14.3. But even Serge is 9. Zubac is 7.5. Like, pairing the exception with, does one of these other guys then get moved if a certain star becomes available? Whether that be a Dame, whether that be a Beal, whether that even be like a fuck it. Here's the guy.
Yeah, Kennard. We could just say Kennard. Like, everybody's thinking Kennard.
I don't think Kennard gets moved.
I think that's why he was signed to the Steelers, so he could be moved down the road.
Okay.
Personally.
The question I will ask you is, would Ty Lue try to push for a reunion with Kevin Love? If K-Love becomes available, hey, we'll package Marukes and either, like, Maruks and Serge, or Maruks and
No.
Kennard, or Maruks and Zubac to bring in Kevin Love, a player that Ty Lue has worked with that can help this team, and like is
Zubac,
that, or is it like we're going for a Dame or a Bradley Beal?
I mean, Zubac is the guy who would go. Serge is coming off back surgery.
Yeah.
We don't know what his value is.
Yeah.
Like, if he's healthy, he's better than Zubac. If he's not healthy, then fuck him. Like,
he's an expiring contract.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, you'll have to get more value is the problem. And they don't necessarily have, like, a ton of capital to do so.
Yeah.
I think that's why I look at Zubac as someone who, has more overall value, perhaps, if you're trying to move for a K-Love. I mean, my guess is still K-Love, he's probably not going to get bought out this year. No. If he gets bought out, it'll be next year. So you're right, it would have to be a trade. But, like, if you did Zubac, Kennard, and that trade exception or whatever, however the fuck you can magic that together, yeah, sure, they would listen to that. I don't know if he solves any problems for this team necessarily. Like,
I'm just going off of, like,
you just think Ty Lue, K-Love reunite,
like, because of, like, who's the perfect star that the Clippers could add or should add next to Kawhi and PG? Like, is it a Dame or Bradley Beal? Like Jamie says in YouTube chat, he says Bradley Beal, cough, cough.
There's no way they can afford Brad. Like, are we giving up picks through 2034? Like, how the hell could they afford that?
Yeah, picks that they don't have. Like, they have 2027 is their first that they have. They don't have a first until then.
I don't know, man. I don't think they can get a deal done with that far out for the future pick. Yeah, I would say that they need aim lower than Bradley Beal and Damian Lillard. Neither one of those guys is really attainable for you right now. I don't know. Like, I'm guessing it's for a mid-tier guy. You mentioned K-Love. I think that's probably reasonable. And again, with the Cavs likely not going to be a top-tier team by the end of the season, and him already making it very well known how happy he's been there last couple of years, yeah, he's probably attainable. You know what? Probably attainable. He's not gonna. I don't see him taking a buyout this year, though. Like I said, he's not gonna walk away from free money. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else who is in that, like, he'd definitely be helpful to a team. But you know what? I know it's been talked down. C-Scam, though.
Okay.
I think C-Scam is someone who they could potentially try to see. And again, I know the rumors out there where everything's good. Don't worry about it. We're hunky-dory. But Scotty Barnes just had a good game. And that just means people want to talk.
I think Pascal Siakam Dave is going to be a Golden State Warrior very soon. Not like tomorrow soon, but this season will be a Warrior. Okay. Like that, if the deal is done for Pascal Siakam, he's wearing blue and yellow in my mind.
Interesting. I don't like that, but okay.
You don't like that because you don't want the Warriors to be super team again, or?
No, I don't want that because I don't want to have to give up Wiggins because he's a better player than Pascal Siakam is, and people refuse to acknowledge that I'm right.
What would it be? Wiggins, Moody, and the cum bucket?
That's a hilarious overpay. Hilarious overpay for him.
I just wanted to say Kuminga's nickname, Dave.
I know you did, and I'm not buying it.
Or is it the cum bucket because it's Kuminga?
Yeah, there you go. I don't think so. I think that someone that range could be interesting for them. It's tough to say, but as it stands on paper for the Clippers, we've been going one side of this deal.
Well,
as it stands, do you think that adding Bledsoe over Rondo, Pat Bev, and Aturu, not effect, you think you're a better team?
No. And that's why I was going to say even Nicholas in YouTube chat says, as a Clippers fan, he thinks this trade is a big L. I think this is a move for another move, whether that's moving Bledsoe, whether that's getting the trade exception so you can bring someone else in. Another thing I just thought of is, could they use the exception and trade someone maybe like a Zubac to do a sign and trade with the Bulls for Lauri Markkanen? Because Markkanen right now doesn't have anything, but if he could get like 12 to 15 mil in a sign and trade, I'm saying like lower, and they could use that 8 million to eat up some of it, and the Bulls get like a player from the from the Clippers, like a player and a second at the most. Like, Lauri Markkanen doesn't have a home right now, and I think Lauri Markkanen could at least help them more than some of the players they have on their team. And would not be as much of a pay.
If there's a man to find a way back to fucking Bulls talk in a trade that involves two teams that aren't the Bulls, it's Ricky Whitmer. I mean, that is.
Lauri Markkanen needs a home, Dave. He needs a home.
Lauri Markkanen is a stretch big on a team like the Clippers. Sounds great. I will not disagree. And actually, I love that idea. I just don't want to admit it out loud, kind of feel. Because it encourages you to make more things like this. I'm good with that in theory. Sure. Like you said, though, Zubac's not really a big fucking like push, but at the same time, like, we're not gonna get Keon Johnson. You know, they did sign like Jason Preston. We've got like 18 fucking people on our backcourt right now. Like, we want a big. Do they have any bigs on that roster who could be traded? Not one that I want. Like, you know, that's the problem. Nick Batum's not going anywhere. Justice Winslow, they just signed as a like, we'll take a flyer if he can stay healthy. He'll help our team. So literally, they just don't have anybody, you know, who would fit what the Bulls are looking for. They're not moving on from Boston. They signed him long term too. It's tough. It's tough to see a way out or a way forward, I should say, with that deal. Outside of us taking like a 2 or something, you know, which would be fine, I guess. At the end of the day, if you give a Zubac and a 2, sure.
Yeah, I mean,
who says no?
That's just one that I was like, I don't know if the package would be intriguing. But like even like Jamie says, Lowry's going to be a Mav. I know
we do think that,
out there, but like he doesn't have a home yet. Could they enter that sweepstakes? But like even the other team in this, the Grizzlies, what the hell are they like? The question I have with the Grizzlies is, what the hell are they doing? Like, I feel
flipping
like
assets.
This is a team that is like, we made the playoffs. Let's try to make as many moves as possible. Will any of them help us? I don't know. Let's see.
They moved up to 10 to take a guy they thought would be the biggest hit for them as far as and a complimentary piece to John Morant.
The biggest project.
He is a big project. He's someone who proved approximately nothing in Zaire Williams.
And then they moved up again to take another questionable pick. They took Santi at 30.
Oh, yeah. Santi, that was done so he could literally come over to America, though. That was, right?
I don't know.
No, I'm thinking of the one of why what's his face didn't get a deal was because all the second round options wouldn't let him come over to the NBA. But yeah, I think that the problem with this team, not even a problem. I agree with you on the idea of like when is this team going to compete like for a championship or just playoffs, I guess in general, because it's you know, Ja's young as hell. You know, that's the thing you got to remind yourself, like Ja's like 22, 23. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a year younger than him. And then you got, the rest of this roster to work around. Desmond Bane's already basically in his prime compared to them. I think adding a veteran like Rondo to help John Morant and be a mentor is great in theory, as long as he, is a team guy at that point. We don't know what to expect out of Rondo. We've seen him blow up teams. We've seen him be a great mentor to other teams. So like, if we're getting Bulls Rondo, I'm all in. He was a great mentor. I loved having him around. He was great for the kids. And he shared a lot of what he knew, and his game knowledge on the court showed he's basically having another coach on the court. He's one of like 4 guys in the NBA with that kind of basketball IQ. Yeah. So I'm good with that. Pat Bev, I think, is cancerous to most locker rooms. So I think that they're probably going to trade him. I think that's they got Rondo to be the mentor. They got Pat Beverly to be traded again. So if we think about it this way, they literally got paid to take Eric Bledsoe to move up in that draft. And now they moved on from him and they're hopefully going to flip that piece for another piece. Like, this is the Iguodala deal all over again. So they're going to maybe move on Batpev to get somebody who gives them, a low upside or a high upside, like low downside kind of player.
I see what you just did there. You just
What's
said
that?
Jeff.
I did?
It's the Jays. Jeverly. And we got
I didn't even think about that.
It would be J. John Jondo, Ray John Rondo, J. John Rondo.
No.
J. John Jondo. It's weird. It's weird. Rondo with 2 J's is just weird.
Just call him John Doe.
John Doe. We got John Doe and Jeverly. And then Janiel God, a Turu.
Joe Turu. Just slap it in front.
Just put a J on the front of it. But like, that's the thing. You were even looking on Reddit and you went into it of like trading Pepev, but like, are they even going to keep Rondo? Like, I looked at this and I went, so if they, let's say a reality where they trade Beverly, depends on what they get for him.
Yep.
If they waive Rondo, so basically you did this deal for Daniel Turu.
And about $4 million in saved cap next year if you would have waived Eric Bledsoe after the season.
I go like, oh, wait, what? Like, yet again, unless trading Beverly, you think you can actually get some, like, what do you think could be the return for either a Pepe?
If they get a 2? If they get a 2 for Beverly, why not? Like,
so Brooklyn gives them a 2?
I think Brooklyn would give a 2 for Patrick Beverly, 100%. Mm-hmm. Brooklyn is a team who just got a scoring god off the bench in Cam Thomas.
Yeah. They lost Dinwiddle.
Go ahead. Or, I would probably say Beverly's the more attractive prospect out there. I would rather keep Rondo around. I have a bias though, definitely, but I would think that Pat Bev has some value, whether it's a 2 or whether you just cut him and waive him and let him go sign whoever he wants to. Mm-hmm. Because again, think about it. You got paid to move up in this draft to take on Bledsoe, and then you just flipped him for positive in theory. Mm-hmm. If you can flip again, like they are a team who just asset in, assets out, and they don't seem to lose much for it. Mm-hmm. They soaked up contract room with Iguodala. Now they're soaking up contract room again. I can't wait to see what it turns into. I don't have a problem with the logic. They just haven't hit big enough on, one of those flips, because Justice Winslow should have been it, and he wasn't because he couldn't stay healthy. So now they have to try it again. And I think Aturu is like, he's had a couple moments, but he doesn't give me like high-end starter vibes even. So I think you're looking at trying to flip Patrick Beverly or Rondo for a 2 or something, along those lines,
Because like the thing with the Grizzlies too, you got to think about is like, so they were, I'm looking at the standings right now. They were in the playoffs as the 8th seed because they won the, or they beat the Golden State Warriors in the play-in tournament. But like next year, Golden State's going to be a better team.
Yes.
We think that New Orleans should be a better team, right?
I don't know about that.
Like,
they side graded from Lonzo Ball to Devontae Graham, and then they upgraded slightly at center by adding spacing. JV over Steven Adams. Mm-hmm. They added a good shooter, I guess, technically. Like, they added floor spacing. They lost defense. Yeah. I don't know how that'll pan out.
Yeah, because, like, I'm looking at, like, where the final standings were, and it's like the Lakers at 7th. They shouldn't be 7th.
They should be much better because Rondo doesn't miss games.
The Warriors should be a better team.
Yep, agreed.
San Antonio will probably be a worse team.
There will be worse. Yep.
The Pelicans and Kings are question marks. Will they be better side grade? Like,
right.
Will they be?
I think side grade within 3 wins of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minnesota, I don't like Minnesota.
It should be way better.
OKC and
Minnesota should be way better. OKC is going to be slightly better.
Okay. I don't see either Minnesota.
Actually, OKC is probably going to be still the same. And here's the thing: if OKC has a chance to get fucking Chet. Mm-hmm. They're probably going to pull Shea off the court again for 40 games. Mm-hmm. Like, that seems to be okay, apparently, by the league. So, they're just not going to play their talent for the next 6 years. Mm-hmm. Like, that's my fear for OKC. So, I will never go, any of their overs for OKC. I think the Timberwolves, though, absolutely should be a massive fucking increase. Because think about the way they finished last year. New coach, healthy roster. They beat fucking people, like legitimately just beat high talented teams when they were healthy with their new head coach. So I actually think that the Timberwolves will finish much better. Mm-hmm. I think Timberwolves can jump the Pels, and I think the Pels will probably miss out in the playoffs.
Okay. So like really the Grizzlies, the point of this is that the Grizzlies don't have to worry about falling out of that top 10.
Right. I agree with Jamie again. Like Grizzlies have a window. They got years to show John, Triple J, what the plan is and put it together before they're worried. Like, Ja's not Zion. He hasn't come out and said, I'm going to go play in New York. Like, we haven't heard the rumors out of his camp saying he wants to play somewhere else or you need to fix this team. Like, Ja's just, he's going, man. He's a leader of the team. He's a leader in the locker room.
Maybe Ja's
he's
like
everything
Zion.
You want to see.
Or not Zion. Ja's like
nope.
Giannis.
Dame?
Where it's like, fuck it. I'm here for, like, I love it here. I love it here in Memphis. I want to play here for Memphis, like Giannis did with Milwaukee, where I thought he was going to leave. I thought he was going to get traded, and then he signs the extension and then wins the finals because of injuries.
I mean, that'd be great. That would be great. Honestly, I think that they got a window. It's Ja. I think Triple J is the question mark at this point to me. I don't know if he's going to be on this team when they're like long term, but that's like 4 years out now, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
but I think that they've got a great core of young kids, and adding a veteran like Rondo to be a mentor for Ja is the right move to do.
Yeah, and the last thing I will say about this trade, is it a sexy trade? God, no. No, it's not a sexy trade. The thing that sucks about this trade is, all right, what is each team going to do now? Like, the whole,
it's what does it set us up for
thing. What moves do the Clippers do? Like, exactly what you said. What does it set us up for? Because this is not like oh my God, this team just got this guy. How much better are they going to be this year, Dave?
Yeah.
It's what moves
the rotation gets a little nicer think about Memphis. They got John Morant. Excuse me. You got John Morant as your starting point guard, and then you can use Rondo as your backup point guard. You can bring in, Melton into the starting lineup if you wanted to. That was a roadblock last year. You can run Dillon at the 2, you can run him at the 3. It doesn't really matter.
No more.
Zaire's going to be backup minutes. Bane could be your starting 2. Like, they have a great group of guys, because the problem was they had a bunch of shooting guards. That's why Grayson Allen got the boot.
Yeah. Now
they've got, literally, you still have Melton, Zaire, Bane. I think that grouping's nice, but now you have a point guard who can play with them instead of forcing Melton to be a point guard, which he sort of can be at times, but that's not really his role. Yeah. It's like, I think it helps out their development. I think it helps out their team. I think the Grizz maybe win a game or 2 more for not having to deal with Eric Bledsoe and having Rondo on this team. But you're right. This isn't a game-changing move for them. This is a setup piece.
No, it's exactly that. And this is where, obviously, you guys come in. Let us know what you guys think down below of the deal. Also, hit that subscribe button if you have not hit it already. If you want to support us, either check out patreon.com/MVPvids or become a channel member today. Both of those down below. You can also join the Discord, greatest community in the universe, where we're talking NBA each and every day. I have a huge NBA following in our Discord. Link is in the description. We will be back with more NBA news. We have our draft grades. We're up on the YouTubes in a little bit this week. We'll probably be doing Summer League roundup, because I think tomorrow we have some games, and then I think Tuesday is like the championship playoff.
It is the final day.
Game. So like either Wednesday or Thursday, doing a wrap up for.
And then we'll start doing off-season grades and predictions.
Off-season grades, predictions, and then it's the season, Dave. And then we're right back into the season.
Ricky, we're gonna do rankings again. We're gonna do rankings. Do people want to see the rankings come back?
The positional rankings? Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
I feel like if we did the positional rankings, we got to have all 4 of us have rankings. Yeah, we got to do that like soon. But yeah, I would love to do them. If the people want to see the rankings, everyone loves rankings, Dave.
Who doesn't love rankings? Especially rankings.
We also got to get you and Jake to do your way too early big board before the season.
Yes.
Starts, before it becomes just a 1.0.
I agree.
Like, it needs to be way too early. Not
well, if another kid freaking moves up his timeline again, like we added Jalen to the party. Which Jalen? You'll have to watch to find out.
Yeah, but that's going to do it for us. Thank you guys for being as great as you always are. And we will see you next time. That's not what I say. What do I say? Have a good day. That's what I say. Have a good day, everybody.